Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Cookmas Day 13. Today we are making birria empanadas. Yes, I was so obsessed with those empanadas. The first thing I thought was birria in the empanada would be fire. So we're gonna be making that today. Let's get into it. First thing is first, we're gonna start with the empanada dough. We're gonna do 2 cups of flour. I only have bread flour. It'll be fine though, because bread flour is actually my favorite to work with. This I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar, baking powder. Mix it up. Okay, so I got my cold water because we want to keep the butter cold, right? We want to keep this cold so that when it fries up, it seeps into the dough and creates all that crispiness. I'm gonna add the butter. Take our butter cutter, then we're just gonna cut the butter in. That's about pea size right there. You guys can see those chunks. All right, and to this, we're gonna add our ice cold water. Okay, so we're just gonna add a little bit more. This might be good enough. I'm gonna dump it out. Tad. This is like biscuit dough. So essentially, you could probably just go get biscuits. So once you've got your dough ball, we're gonna wrap this up and put it in the fridge for 30 minutes or however long you're doing everything else. All right, guys, so now we're gonna check on our birria, the meat. We should be able to pick it up and it falls apart at this point. So if you can just put a fork to it and it comes off, you know, it's pretty much done. Pull out the meat now. After removing the meat, this is what we have left. We don't have very much fat. If we had a lot of fat, I would remove it, but as you can see, it's only literally a little bit, so. So we got our meat. Matter of fact, we really don't even, this is just, it's falling apart to the point where I don't even have to like cut it up. I'm just gonna shred it up with my gloves. Not even, I pulled out my knife thinking I was gonna have to, but I'm just gonna remove the bone and the connective tissue that houses the bone, which is this right here. You don't want that, that's not edible. So chuck that. You see that connective tissue, so I'm just gonna pull out the meat and then pull the meat off of that connective tissue, like butter. Get a ladle full of the actual soup and just and that'll keep it nice and juicy while we're waiting to fill it up. I'm gonna be cutting up some cilantro, a red onion, and some limes. Very fine dice on these, so we're gonna start really that thing won't stop following me. I know people like to make fun of how people who went to culinary school cut, or the classic way, but it actually makes the most sense to me because I can get my onions the exact size I want them when I cut it like that. Now we're gonna cut the cilantro. I'm actually gonna use this whole head of cilantro. Try to remove as much of the stems as possible. So you're kind of left with, you know, more leaves than stems. Cilantro. All right, so I'm gonna be grating some cheese. I'm gonna be doing white cheddar, and I'm gonna mix it with mozzarella. The sharp cheddar can really overpower anything that you put it in. So I'm gonna dilute it with some mozzarella, and then that'll be our cheese mixture. All right, you guys, let's roll out our dough. So here she is, just a little bit. Take our doughs that we so beautifully worked on. So I'm hoping to get at least, let's see, at least 8. At least 8. As I roll each of them out, I'm gonna put the rest in the fridge so that the butter, obviously, that we work so hard to keep cold, we do not wanna melt that butter. So shape it roughly into a ball. They're gonna roll out this said little dough ball. You see, I don't know if you guys can see, like there's the butter in it. That's how you want it to look. You don't want it to be seeped into the flour too much until we fry it. I'm gonna add the cheese first. The cheese is taking up space. I'm actually gonna squish the cheese in. Then I'm gonna take my meat that we shredded up. Be generous with the meat, since we have nothing else really going in here besides meat cheese. Then everything's in there. We're gonna fold. It's okay if some things fall out, just remove them. I'm gonna press this dough into each other, fold it over for the extra security. Okay, I'm not the greatest at folding it, but it works. It seals them in. All right, you guys, so after these are all done, after I'm done rolling these out, I'm actually gonna leave these in the freezer for like 5-10 minutes so that they can firm back up and get cold again. Woo! Don't be an idiot like me. While our empanadas are frying up, let's get our consommé. Just a little bit of onion and some cilantro with a little bit of fat on top. Perfect. All right, you guys, here we go. Oh, it's hot. Look at that. Let's just take a bite. Let's try it with this consomme. These can get you in trouble. These will get you in trouble. But also, the ranch from yesterday. Get into it. Get into it. Let's try it. If somebody put that on my plate in a restaurant, listen, I got a little lime. Let's try it with a little lime. Dip. Nom, 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 nom. Just sing me a lullaby. Wrap me up in a cocoon. This right here is what I love. Me and you and the finished product. I love this. This is my favorite moment. Because once it all comes together, me and you, we work for this, guys. We work for this. Not the crumbs. Chill, everybody relax, okay? If you have a cheat meal coming up, you have a I wanna impress everybody in my family or my friends meal, make this flaky, meaty, cheesy. Cheers to Cookies Day 13. I gotta go, you guys. If you guys are still here, leave me some onion emojis in the comments below. Cause maybe I should do tier comments. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.